Hey, my name is Midnight Salam, and today, as the title suggests, I'll be showing you how to make a very simple VTuber model. Honestly, if you follow along, I feel like you can do this, so you got this. Just try your best to follow along. I'll try to explain everything. If you didn't know, Live2D reads Photoshop format, so PSD format. Now, I understand there's some people who probably can't use Photoshop, or I don't know, maybe you don't want to invest in Photoshop, I don't know, even though there's ways. There is free programs that let you export it in Photoshop format. One program I can think of is Krita, which is free. You can look that up. I'm going to be showing you how to do it in Photoshop, but if you want a free program that's not like this, you can use Krita and then export it in PSD. If you'd like me to make a video on that, maybe I could, but yeah. If you've used Krita before and you know how to use it, well, you can kind of follow along and just export it in PSD. And also, make sure the layers are separate. Yeah. So we're gonna make a new file. We'll call this Blob. And then, the size isn't too important. We'll do 3000 pixels by 3000. Because we're gonna make it a little square. Oh, let me turn off the extras. And now we make a layer over, oh, I should probably move my model down. Hold on a second. Over here, like, you make a new layer. It's under my head. I'm sure you'll know how to make a new layer. And you can delete the background, but just keep it here so we can see what we're doing. By the way, if you have a graphics tablet, it's going to be a lot easier for you because you'll be able to, draw. But for this tutorial, I'm actually not going to use a graphics tablet. I'm going to be using my mouse, and I'll be showing you tools in Photoshop that are useful. By the way, you don't have to make the exact same thing I'm making. Maybe you might want to make like a, I don't know, what could you do? You could make like a little treat, like some sort of snack as a VTuber model. Things like that. But I'm just going to do a blob, like a slime. So this tool right here, your Photoshop might be different, but try to find it. It's really useful. If we make one point, make another one here and stretch it out, make another one here, it'll do it automatically. Stretch this out, this here. You can create a shape. Now this, you're probably wondering why I'm telling you this. Well, let me show you. This is like very rough, like you see. If I draw this little character, all the lines look very rough. So what you can do is you can lower the opacity, make another layer on top, take this tool, and try your best to like trace over it. So you could do this, right? And then you right click, stroke path, tick this, make sure you tick that. If you tick that box and then you delete all the anchor layers, what it does is it makes it look like a stroke. So it makes it look like it's been drawn with like a graphics tablet, basically. Sometimes, I mean, it's kind of, you can kind of tell, but I've done artwork using this before I had my graphics tablet. So before I had my graphics tablet, I would always like sketch something out really rough with my mouse, and then I would use this tool. I'll show you some drawings I did. Here's one example of a drawing I did. And here's another piece of artwork I did using the tool. You can kind of, like, it's not easy to tell. So, like, you can definitely, like, use this. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't know about this, and when I figured it out, and I told some of my friends about it, even they were like, wow, that's such a good idea. And I think new artists should definitely try doing that. Instead of investing like in a graphics tablet, like straight away, maybe you want to try this, right? Or if you think you're good at like doodling stuff, but you feel like your line work and like digital art is bad, you can try that. I'd recommend it, even not for VTubing, just for drawing. I've introduced you to a new tool, so I hope that helps, because when I didn't know about it, I struggled a lot. Let's create our little character. If you like, you can make a slime, so maybe you might want to do like some sort of slime. So let's draw an oval shape like this. Let's take the fill tool. This is what I'm gonna do. Hold on, where's the fill tool? Here we go. We'll just make it a blob like this. And now we'll lower the opacity and then make a layer on top. Take this tool and we'll do like we'll do this, and we can like adjust these points right here. I'll do another one here. We'll do one right here, maybe. Kind of fiddle around with it, and then I'm thinking we do this. Maybe stretch this out a bit more. Add a point here. Stretch it. We're gonna try and make it look like a little slime. I'm just using the Eclipse tool as like a guide. And oh. Now we're gonna right click, stroke path. If you like, you can uncheck this. If you uncheck it, it'll make the line all consistent. For a slime type of model, you might want to keep that. And then if you use stimulate, it's gonna make it like get thinner on certain parts. Maybe you want that. And we can delete this oval layer we made before. Oh, that is a rough line. If you have this issue, what you can do, you can take the eraser tool. Oh, we don't want it to be blurry. We want it to be. So press here, and then hold shift and make a straight line, and then just erase the rest. Trust me on this. And then you're gonna want to duplicate this layer. Then you're gonna want to press Ctrl T, and then right click, flip horizontal, and then hold shift and just drag it across. Try your best to like match it up, and that will make it like even, and then press enter. Oh, press enter. Should have. Now you can merge these layers together and it'll look pretty clean. Nice. Now we're gonna make a layer underneath the line art, and we're gonna color this in. Just color it in. If you're scared of going outside the lines, you can use this tool right here and make a bunch of points along it to make sure you don't go outside of the lines. So boom, we went around it. Now we can take this tool, we can make it big. We can choose a color, so I don't know, just, by the way, choose a random color. Doesn't matter. Like, even if you're unsure what color you want, if you're doing the same blob as I am, just do this. Just color it in, just like that. Deselect, and there you go. Now, if you want to change the color after you've colored it, if you go into Image, Adjustments, and then Hue and Saturation, you can adjust the color here. You can adjust the brightness, you can adjust the saturation. So I'm gonna stick to this sort of like pink, and then like I'll make it darker. The reason I'm gonna make it dark is because I'm thinking of making the character like a little bit transparent, like 75, and so it can be see-through, which I think would be cute. And then on top of this layer, you might want to add some highlights. So if we get some white, I don't know, you could have like just 2 dots, right? This is a new layer we made. So now we're gonna take this tool, color black, make it pretty big, and you can do like a line. So maybe you might do a line like this. Stroke path. It's not stimulated this time. I don't like how the edges look there, so to fix that, we might take this tool and just kind of even out the edges. This. Just like that. We have one eye. We'll name this eye. And then we're gonna duplicate the layer. Select it and make another eye. Just like that. And then we can adjust the size of the eye. Just like that. Boom! You have that done. We'll do top lip, which we're gonna do like this. Stroke path, stimulate. Don't stimulate. There we go. We get a nice line. We'll call that top lip. Make a layer beneath that. Because it's a blob, it won't have like a back part of the mouth, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're gonna make the bottom part like this. Perfect. We might want to move it a little bit or stretch it in. Boom. Look at that. I want to adjust the color of the blob. I want to make it slightly brighter. Maybe we'll change the color to this yellow. Or another suggestion I would make is make a layer on top, create a clipping mask, and maybe choose a color that's kind of darker than this, maybe a bit more orange, and color in the line art so it stands out a bit more. So let's try different colors. So maybe something like that, right? And then maybe we'll blend it out a bit using different colors. Maybe we'll use a darker shade here. We could use a blurrier brush here. So we might want to make it look a bit more unique by adding different hues to the line art here. In no particular way, like, you know, just kind of go with what feels right, just like that. And then for this, we can make sure you merge it down, by the way, merge down. For the blob, create another clipping mask, and maybe you might want to go for a lighter shade and maybe blend it out a bit. Or you could use this tool right over here, gradient tool, and edit the gradient and use the gradient instead. So we could change the colors. Maybe we'll use this. The middle part could be a slightly darker variation. And then the last color could be something like a dark orange, right? So then if we use it like this, we can create a beautiful hue, just like that. There we go. Now we have a cute little blob. We can merge that down. We can merge down the line art. Did I call this block? I meant to call it blob. And yeah. For the eye layers as well, if you like, you can make a clipping mask and do the same thing if you like. You could... Oh, I did not mean to do that. You could maybe fade it out a bit. Maybe you might use a different shade of gray. Or maybe you might want to use this light color. Or maybe you want to change the color completely. Instead of black, use like this pink. Now, if you want, you could add more stuff. Like maybe you want a heart emote that appears. You could do that. You could definitely do that. There's a lot you could do now. You could customize this as much as you want. So maybe we might want to add... Oh, we already have some emotes going. You can infinitely customize this. Make sure you delete the background layer, by the way. And you have your little model ready to go and be rigged. So now we're going to take the little blob character, the PSD file we made, and drag and drop it into Live 2D. Look at that, little blob characters here. Okay. Now, we have to make sure everything is visible for now. We'll make them invisible later. Grab all these layers, press on Control E, go into Auto, and then just do this. Lower that. Press that. And then for this base layer, we might want to add more points. Just the process. I'm showing you a very fast way of making a model. It's going to be very rough. Like usually you would refine these edges and make them look a lot cleaner. You want to go through that. I've definitely made videos on it. But if you're just looking to make a model quickly and you're not too interested on too many of the details, I'm going to show you how to do that, just like that. Now everything is colored in, everything is great, and now we can select everything, go in here, maybe we'll make it 4,000, press all model images, and now we can just spread out the textures like this. We have plenty of room since this model isn't too big. Just like that. Make sure nothing is touching, and then press OK. Select everything, make a warp deformer, call it all of model. Pretty self-explanatory. You might want to sort out the folders, so make 5 folders. Call this one head. Put all the head angles in there. The next folder is gonna be called eyes. Well, our character doesn't have eyebrows. If your character has eyebrows, you don't. You might want to add them in there, but my character doesn't. So I'm gonna delete those. Over here it's gonna be mouth. And we don't need to add body. This is not important. So we can get rid of the body ones. And then the breathing, we'll just call this breathing. The rest are defaults, we can delete those. And perfect. We're all sorted. And you can color code these too. Perfect. Now, there we go. These little emotes, we can make them into their own folder, select all of them, and call them emotes. Perfect. Close that. Blob, little blob. We'll call this the body base. This can go into the body base as well. We'll call this IR what? IL what? And mouth what? Just like that. Boom. We're ready to start. Now we're gonna take this. This is the right eye because it's the character's right. Over here. And we're gonna wanna double click and then add some points here. If you're gonna be using like iPhone tracking, you can make an eye shot. I'm probably not gonna do that. So I'm probably gonna just remove this point right here. And we're gonna just squish it down. Just squish it down. That's gonna be the blinking. We're not gonna do eye smile because our character, if you want to make eye smile, you can. I'm gonna delete eye smile because this is a very basic model we're gonna be making. Do the same for IL. Boom. You already have blinking done. For the eyeball position where you're looking around, for this model, I don't think you can really do it. If your character has little pupils, you can animate them looking left, right, up, down. But if you're going to be sticking to something simple like this, I mean, it's not really possible for the character to be looking around, so we're going to delete these as well. So we already have the basic blinking down. Perfect. Now we're going to do the mouth. We're going to do very basic mouth. So we're going to add 3 points into the mouth form. Take the top lip for the top lip at the 3 points. Add 3 points here. Make a frowning face here at this point. And then at this point, make a happy face. Perfect. Now take the bottom lip, add 3 points. Add 3 points here using this tool. And try your best to like make sure these connect. Just like that. And now we select both of them, add 3 points in mouth form, link them together, and now right here, we're gonna do the mouth closed. So we're gonna wanna move it down like this. And we're gonna wanna make sure that this line is like hidden underneath it, like this. You don't have to make this perfect either. Make it very rough. I'm trying my best to do this fast to show you that it is possible if you want to try and make your own. Here we might want to make the mouth slightly less open. So we'll do this. We'll move the bottom lip. We'll move this down a bit. Just like that. Down a bit. And you have mouth movement. Look at that. Now your character can talk. Sad, happy. Nice. You have already done very basic stuff. Character can talk, character can blink. That is really good. By the way, you can hide the emotes. You don't have to worry about those for now. But we'll be working on them. Boom. If you're wondering what cheek is basically when you smile, you blush. My model has that. It's really good. So if you want to add blush, you can also do that. So, yeah. Now we're going to go into head. We're going to take the olive model. We're going to add 3 points to X. Exit this out. Maybe we'll just squish the character to one side. Make your character squish to one side like this. If you like, you can make the bottom part move, just like this. Make your character move to this side and like squish, squish, this, take that, right? And now you're probably wondering, like, we have to animate the other side. You don't have to. You can go over here, click here, reflect horizontally, and it will copy it over to the other side. Perfect. Now we're gonna take this deformer we made, go up here, make it a parent, call it Y, or I mean call it anything really. We're gonna add 3 points to Y. Over here, on this point, we're gonna make the character look down. We're gonna make it squish down. Like this. Squish down. Look down. You can reflect this vertically. Like this. Or I would recommend just manually doing it. Because Y is a little bit more fiddly than X is. By reflecting it is kind of tough. You might want to keep that down like this. We might want to keep this stretched up while he looks down. And we might want to edit this a bit. Move that back. That back. Now, if you connect these, the character's going to move around. It's very basic, but you didn't. For the head tilt, angle Z, you don't have to do it, but if you want to, make another warp deformer. I didn't name it anything. And we're gonna make the little guy tilt his head. So we're gonna make... We're gonna squish it like this. Make it look like it's tilting its head. Just like this. Look, he's tilting it to one side. Then we can reflect this horizontally. And he's tilting it to the other side. So now when he tilts his head, you can look around. Just like that. You can keep working on these. So maybe you might want to animate this a bit better. So another way you can improve this is by taking this IL and you can take the mouth warp and just animating it, moving slightly more to the side it's looking at, like this. And then to this side, you can make it move more to that side, like this. Add points here. Make it look down more. Make it look up more. Connect these. Synthesize corners. And your character kind of looks around more. We might want to move this highlight because it overlaps a bit. So we're going to make a warp deformer for that. Just like this. So over here, we might want to make it, we might want to make it like this. 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 Don't worry if it goes outside. Trust me. And then synthesize corners. Just like that. Now, if we take the blob, the base of the body, and take the ID, Control C, copy it, go into the highlight, go into the clipping ID, press Control V and enter. It will make it so that the highlight stays within the base. So it'll kind of fade out like that. Pretty useful stuff. And there you go. That's that. Good job. Now you have the blob done. Now I'll quickly show you how to do physics. So we're gonna make... Oh, right. Make another one off the top one. Call it breath. Go into breathing. Go here. Take the middle point and like make sure you make the character like breathe. So maybe we'll make him squish down a bit as he breathes. Just like this. So now he's gonna be like this when he breathes. Nice. Look at him. Look at him breathing. Looking around. It's really cute. So now you have a very basic blob. Nice. Now we're gonna make physics. We'll make another folder. We'll call it physics. Inside that folder, we'll make a new parameter. We'll call it bounce X. We'll make another one, call it bounce Y. We're gonna make another deformer off of this. And then we're gonna make it crazy. And I mean, we're gonna make it crazy. We're gonna make sure it looks super distorted. It's gonna look a bit odd, but it's gonna make it super bouncy. If you have a little character like this, it'll look very cute. And we can reflect this. For here, again, we're gonna want to make it like swoosh downward. If you imagine a little slime, like it would maybe stretch out like this when it goes down, and then when it goes up, it would get a bit thinner. Just like that. Just like that. Synthesize corners. And it's gonna be really bouncy. Maybe over here we might want to make it like stretch out a bit more. Reflect it. Synthesize corners. Look at them bounce. And then if we go into modeling, open physics, and then we'll call this X. Go in here, add angle X, put it at 100, add 3 points, go in here, bounce X, move it around. Look at that. We got some jiggle going. We might want to reflect this. Look at him. Let him jiggle. Then we might want to make a duplicate. Change this to Y. Change this to Y. And look at him bounce. Look at him bounce. Super bouncy. So now, when you use your model, it'll be super bouncy. Kind of looks like a mochi. I just realized that. It looks like a little mochi ball. He's cute. I love mochi. Look at him go. You can even make it more jiggly by increasing the shape. I don't recommend it, but if you want to. You change the reaction time too. Boom. And you have a little bounce. We might want to make this like move less like you can keep adjusting it and see if you like it. Move like this. And it's super bouncy. Look at him. If we autoplay it, now we basically have the base done. If you don't have any expressions, you could just stop here and you already have a model literally ready to go and be used. Like, it jiggles around, it moves around, it bounces, it's cute. You can use it. It's done. Yeah. If you're wondering how to do the expressions, I'll quickly try to explain it. So for the angry emote, we might just want to put it inside of the body. So when it's on, it'll just move around with the body. And to keep it simple, we can make its own deformer and we can link it to the breathing. And right here, we can make it get bigger. So now every time you breathe, it's just going to get bigger and smaller like that. It's very basic, but it works. To make a toggle, we'll make a folder here, we'll call it toggles. We'll make a new parameter, we'll call it angry toggle. For minimum, set it to 0, maximum, set it to 1. Add this right here, 2 points, make sure it's on. set that to 100. When it's here, set it to 0. This means it'll be like by default off, right? But you can turn it on. That's one basic expression down. For the heart and the tears, so for these parts of the tears, you're gonna want to put it inside of the I. So this is IL, this is IR, so it basically follows along. Oh, by the way, if the emote there does that, don't worry too much about it, don't worry. Oh, I messed it up. I know why. Take the angry one, make sure you take the default one, and do that so that doesn't happen. Boom. Fixed. Now we can make another toggle for line toggle, minimum 0, maximum 1. Select these two tiers, and again, make sure it goes to 0, and it's off by default. You can also select the mouth, select the bottom and top, add them here. When the sad face is on, you can make it so that it's sad. So go to the sad one, Control-Shift-C, go here, Control-Shift-V, make sure it's on here, and then go here, Control-Shift-V. Now when you toggle sad, your character will look sad. Nice! You're already like, dude, if you did this, like, damn, you're already like ahead of everyone else. Good job. I'm already teaching you stuff that's like, should be quite hard for beginners. So if you've managed to follow along my rambling, oh my god. Just watch what I'm doing and like try to copy it, I guess. Take your time, pause the video. But yeah, look. We got a little character going on. Now, if you want to know how to make the character cry and have an animation for crying, we're going to have to make an animation. That's going to have to be separate. So we're going to make a new folder. We'll call it animation. We're going to create a new parameter in there. We'll call it cry1. Make it 0. Make it 1. Make another one. Call it cry2. Make it 0. Make it 1. Boom. Now we can get started. We can unhide these. We can turn the crying toggle on. Select both of these. Add points. Add 2 points here. When the tears are here, we're going to want them to be at 0%. Over here, we'll want the tears to be falling. So the tears will be falling. Over here, it'll fall more. And over here, it'll be like gone. So it'll be like this, put this at 0. So it'll keep doing this, and it'll keep looping. So that's the whole animation right there. It's very basic, but it does the job. Again, we're gonna want to put this in IR and this in IL, so it tracks like along. For the heart, we'll put it in body. And we can do the exact same thing. We can add points here. So 2 points here, 2 points here. For here, we can put the heart here, put it at 0%, make the heart go here, make the heart go over here, and then make the heart like fade out. And we can make a heart animation as well. Perfect. Now we're gonna wanna make heart toggle 0, 1. By the way, you can skip this if you don't have complicated toggles. Make sure it's off. Make sure the toggle is always off by default. And then when it's on, make sure it does its stuff. Same goes with the tiers. With this tier, the other tier, add it to the crying. Make sure it's off by default. So then when the crying is on, it will cry, but when it's off, it won't do anything. There you go. Very basic stuff. But your expressions are basically all done. Now what you have to do is export the model. If you go in here, export for runtime, export as Mach3 file, make sure these are selected. That's it. Press OK. Blob. Save it in the folder. Press save. Let it save. And boom. Now your model is ready to be used. But I'm going to be showing you how to animate it. The little expressions. If you go in here, go into animation. Create a new scene here. Keep it to this. Take this, drag it, and drop it in here. Now you can select it, press Alt and Shift, and you can change the size just like that. We can keep the animation short. You can go click on here. You can name this idle animation. How long you make it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna want to toggle on the tiers just so we can see what we're doing. Go into animation, go here, maybe at about 10, make this point activate, and then at about 20, make this point activate, and then at about 30, make this point activate, and then again, set it to 0. We're going to want to copy this, Control C, and Control V, Control V. I want to move this in a bit more. Just like that. So now you're going to have crying animation that plays. And you can get rid of this point right here. It's going to be invisible, but it's going to keep playing constantly. And I'll show you how to set that up in VTube Studio. There. Go in here, export for runtime, export motion file. Don't mess with anything here. Press OK. Save the animation you made. And now you have the animation. Your model is basically ready to go. Go into this right here, this file Live2D made for you. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot about this. I'm gonna switch to one of the default models just for now. Don't worry about it. So over here, we have our little blob. We're gonna want to add an expression. We'll call this art. Right? Art. And then where the toggle was, we're gonna want to turn it on. And then add another one, call it crying. Control C, Control V. Take this, turn on the crying. Then add, what was it? Angry? Angie. Take Angie. Boom. And now press save it. Should be okay. Okay. It should be fine. So if we add a hotkey, expression, and then choose expression, all the expressions should appear here. So now you can set the toggle to anything you want. Now you might be wondering, oh, I pressed the heart toggle, but it's like not working, right? Because you did the animation if you did it. If you go into the model settings and add an idle animation, add the idle animation that we made, and it'll keep playing it over and over, and you can toggle it off and on. Pretty cool. Same goes with the tiers, so do the same thing. Expression crying. We'll set that to number 2, and now your character will be like constantly crying. Nice. And then we can add the next expression. Just like that. Nice. Model is ready to go. If anybody wants to use this model, I will have it available for people to use. If you want to support me, if you want to study the files, I will give it to you. I might upload it on one of those websites where you can like name your own price. So if you want to like just get this for free, that's okay too. You can look at the files, you can look at the Live2D files, you can look at the PSD if you like. Or you can customize the PSD. I've shown you how to change the colors. Maybe you can mess around with that and use this and practice. Try to do what I did, if you like. Yeah. I hope that helped. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. I hope I helped.